I have a couple questions before we break for lunch about this comment that you made about Mr. Sanderson having a good relationship with his daughters. You read some of their testimony, is that correct?
I did.
And do you recall reading about Jenny Sanderson, one of his daughters?
I don't remember the names exactly, but maybe
Okay.
you can refresh my
Sure.
memory. The one was, I think the one that I recall reading was the oldest daughter that had a granddaughter that had just graduated from high school, and then there was another one that there were only two depositions of the two.
Yeah.
So maybe you can tell me the names and I will.
Sure. Well, I'll just ask you things that
Okay,
maybe
sure.
came up in some of the others. So Jenny, the youngest, she testified that she did not feel loved or nurtured by her father growing up. Did you read about that?
I didn't read her deposition then because I did not see any of that testimony.
And this may have been discussed in some of the other daughters' depositions, so I'll just keep reading in case
Sure.
you read about any of these other statements. There's also testimony that Mr. Sanderson was domineering and emotionally and verbally abusive to Jenny and her mother, Tana. Do you recall reading anything about that?
No, I do recall some testimony about him being angry with the man that was having an affair with his wife, and that was atypical for him. I think he was, punched him or something, but that was listed as very atypical in Terry's behavior.
Okay, what about, did you hear any testimony about Mr. Sanderson becoming frustrated if his expectations weren't met, and this is referring to his children?
No, I don't recall that.
What about testimony that he has always been easily frustrated and quick to anger?
I think that testimony is contradicted by other testimony by the daughter, but no, I was not aware of that testimony.
Okay, what about testimony that his frustration was visible in his body language and in the way he would talk?
No. Like I said, I don't think I've read this deposition.
What about testimony that he did not speak with one of his daughters, Jenny, for 13 years?
Not aware of that.
What about testimony that Mr. Sanderson is controlling and relentlessly tries to mold Jenny to be a certain way?
Yeah, again, I haven't had any of the testimony from Jenny.
Okay.
So I was not given that deposition.
Well, some of these things may have been addressed by the daughters.
Sure.
As you mentioned with the affair, there may be something that's related, and I want to give you an opportunity to address it. Have you read any testimony that Mr. Sanderson was hyper-focused on success and compares his daughters to that standard in a painful way?
I did read testimony about him being very focused, and one of the terms was anal retentive, or anal, or something like that. That he was a very focused individual and a multitasker, but not any. Again, I've not heard any of the negative comments from this daughter, and I'm not sure what that relationship was, whether this was from a previous marriage or what happened there, but
Okay.
not aware of that.
Okay, what about testimony that this daughter, Jenny, has taken breaks from her father over the years because he oversteps the boundaries she sets?
Again, haven't read Jenny's testimony.
Okay, that's all I have. Thanks.